Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. In today's video, we're talking influencer skincare. There are quite a few influencers that now have their own skincare brands and products, and so I thought let's put them through their paces. I've tried a whole suite of them, and I want to share with you my thoughts, feelings, and opinions on them, and the results I got from using these products. The reason for sitting down and filming this video today was actually I recently shared a video about my upcoming launch of my own skincare line, Mad About Skin, which I'm going to leave a link to up there. Honestly, the comments on that video were so heartwarming. Your love and support that you've shown towards this whole collection means the world to me, so thank you so much. But in and amongst those comments, there were a couple and quite a few comments saying, ugh, not another influencer skincare collection. And I hear you, but that got me thinking, are there actually that many out there? And what's the quality? You know, what is the quality and the value that these collections can bring? So I'm going to put that to the test in today's video. Sit back, relax, and let's talk influencer skincare. Now, before we jump into this video, I do just want to caveat it by saying, if you're here for the tea, if you're here for the shade, you've come to the wrong place, because I'm not here to pick apart, berate, and belittle people's efforts. Whether I like these products or not, I can tell that a whole host of effort has gone into creating that, and that's what I want to be mindful of throughout this. However, I am going to be totally honest and unbiased. I will state as I go through this video if I have a personal relationship with any of the content creators that I'm discussing for that full transparency, and as you'll see, I actually really don't. And so I can share my honest thoughts, feelings, and opinions on all of these products. Now, with all that out of the way and being said, I want to cut the waffle and jump straight on into this. And I want to start on the positives with my favourite influencer-led skincare brand, and that is this. This is the Dr Sam skincare line. Some of you might have seen Dr Sam Bunting's content here on YouTube. I'll leave a link to her videos below if you do want to check it out. I'm relatively new to her content, and I've never spoken to her, exchanged a DM, or any of that stuff. I have, however, picked up some really great hints, tips, and hacks from watching her video, so I would definitely recommend her content. She brought out her own line, which I think started with a couple of serums and now has about 10 different products in it. I haven't tried them all, but the ones that I have tried, I've been really impressed with. This is the Dr. Sam cleanser, which I love. It's got very few active foaming agents in here, so it doesn't strip and dry the skin. It's got aloe in, which I absolutely love, and lantonin to calm and soothe the skin. Just a really nice cleanser. I use this in the summer where I feel like a gel cleanser, it's so hot here in the UK, and a gel cleanser just kind of works with my skin. And whilst there's no artificial fragrance in here, it still manages to smell fresh and vaguely uplifting. It hasn't got that gluey, chemically smell that some unfragranced cleansers can. So this is definitely one of my favourites. The two serums which I think she brought out first were the Brightly serum and the Brightly Night serum, which I like. It's got azelaic acid in, which is one of my favourite active ingredients. If you want to know a bit more about that specifically, I'll link a video I did on why everybody should have an azelaic acid in their routine. This, probably one of my favourite ways of getting it. Got some niacinamide in here, some bakuchiol, which will help to kind of mimic the effects you can get from retinol, though it is very different. And all told, just really like it. And finally, I want to call out the sunscreen, which is gorgeous. If you're looking for a slightly lighter version of the Skinny Sun Gel, Skinny Sun Gel is shea butter formulated, so it goes on quite thick. This has shea butter in it, but it's a much more gel-like cream type consistency, and as you can see, it blends beautifully with my skin. I think it's going to work much better on people of my skin tone and lighter, but a really nice unfragrant sunscreen, SPF 50 if that's what you're looking for. Finally, I'm going to come on to this, which is the Flawless Revival Mask. Now, this mask is the newest launch, and I only recently got my hands on this, so I haven't really put it through its paces because it's too hot here in the UK for me to be bothering with skincare masks. But when I do, I've got some high hopes for this because it's got, again, that shea butter in here. It's got some calming and soothing ingredients, and it's designed to be on the skin 15 minutes, then you wipe it away and do the rest of your skincare routine. I love that because I do like that 15-minute flash fix, and this is very much for boosting the hydration and bringing back all the goodness to the skin. So yeah, I'd say as a line, I have been super impressed with the Dr. Sam Bunting skincare collection, and definitely not a cash grab because these are really well priced, and I think there's definitely thoughts and feelings put behind it. Looking at Dr. Sam's content, this is definitely aligned with her content and her ethos with skincare, which I like to see. So yeah, I'm probably going to give this a 10 out of 10. Ding, and we are off to a flying start. Now, a recent skincare launch that I know so many of you went mad for was the Selfless by Hyram skincare brand, by no other than Hyram himself, the biggest star and sensation here on YouTube. He launched 5 products in collaboration with the Inculist, ranging from a cleanser through to a moisturizer and some very, very gentle, active, focused serums in between. Gentle is really the key word when it comes to his skincare line, and I did a fuller video on my thoughts and feelings recently, so I'll leave a link to that up there. In terms of the products, I actually only bought the cleanser, and that's because the other products weren't designed for my skin type. I'd been using these actives for years and years and years. They just weren't going to be strong enough for me, and I almost didn't want to set myself up for failure and almost like hate on the brand when really they weren't targeted at me, and so it would have been a little bit unfair. The cleanser, on the other hand, I was super keen to get my hands on. I love a cleanser. I cannot get enough cleansers. I like to mix and match them, and this was really appealing because it had the centella, it also had the green tea for calming and soothing. I loved this product. I actually really, really enjoyed this cleanser. It's very light foaming, so in terms of what it'll do, I say it gets off 90% of the dirt, debris, SPF and makeup that you're wearing. If you're wearing very heavy eye makeup or waterproof mascara, you might want to go in with a micellar water before using this, just to make sure you get rid of every last trace. Or if you use it as a double cleanse, this would be your second step and would work beautifully. I was really, really impressed with this. I was a little bit, the price is a little bit up there for what I would normally pay for a cleanser, but I did really like the product and it worked well on my skin. Overall, looking at the Selfless by Hyram brand, definitely it's aligned with Hyram's ethos, which is very gentle, lower strength actives and delivering those results in the longer term so you don't risk sensitivity, redness, irritation in the skin. That's very much his ethos, and this line is beautifully aligned to that. You can tell from it being fragrance free and the ingredients used that Hyram has been involved in every step of the creation, which I love to see. It's just very specific to your skin type and how advanced your skincare routine is as to whether it'll work for you. And I do think the price point, bearing in mind it's in collaboration with the Inculist, which are an affordable and drugstore brand, I think is a little bit up there in price point if I was going to call one thing out. But then you do need to remember there's a lot of charity that goes behind this and some of the environmental impact and stuff. All of that does cost additional money, and so that will be baked into that price point. Overall, I might use the cleanser again. I might repurchase it when I've got through some of my other cleansers, but like I said earlier, I just don't think the other products were designed for my skin or my skin type particularly, and so that's absolutely fine. We can't be all things to all people, and we need to bear that in mind. Now, no influencer skincare video would be complete without a mention of Natruium by Susan Yara. So this will start a whole host of debate, and of course I welcome your thoughts, feedback and feelings on this brand in the comment section below. But when it comes to this brand, it really kick-started the influencer skincare trend. I think, though I could be wrong, that Susan Yara was the first to come out with her own skincare line, and actually from the products I've used, it is a reasonably good line. Now, all of this has been tarnished by the dodgiest launch in influencer skincare history, with the whole non-disclosure thing and the dodgy lot, the backtrack, the apology, all of that, which a lot of people just will not look past. I totally hear you. I totally understand. There's going to be 2 schools of thought to this. People that are just like, no, not going near that. The shady launch was enough to put me off for life. And I get that. I'll link below a video that Sarah over at No BS Beauty did on her thoughts and feelings, because that's very much aligned to her ethos on that. So I'll link that below if you do want to check it out, and because I love her channel. But also, my view on it was, okay, that was bad. I mean, that was really bad. But I'm willing to take a second look, and I don't think, my view is second chances, let's take a second look. All that being said, the products are good. However, they're not that accessible outside of the US and Australia, which I think is a disappointment. I think when a brand's been around for 2 or 3 years, really it should be going a little bit more international, so that people that do want to get their hands on the products here in the UK, in Europe, in Latin America, would be able to try them by now. That's what I would have hoped for. If I was to talk about the products themselves, I think they're really well priced. There's a lot of active ingredients in here. I don't think it's overpriced. It's certainly not a cash grab. I think it's got Susan Yara's stamp all over it. I haven't watched her content for some time now, but when I used to watch Susan's content, it was, again, all about the retinols, really focusing down on exfoliation and those actives to get back the glow that sometimes we lose as our skin profile ages. You could definitely see that in the ingredients and the products that have been created by Natruium. So definitely a big tick in the box from that. Now, I'm not actually going to give a rating to Natruium because I think it'll all all come down to whether you're able to look past that shady, dodgy launch as to whether you want to use the products going forward. There'll be people that can't, and there'll be others that are willing to give a second chance and take a second look at the brand, and that all comes down to personal choice. No one can influence that or tell you one way or the other what your decision should be, so I'll leave it up to you guys. I'm not personally going to reach for these products, and that's been taken out of my hands because it's not available here in the UK, and it's so much effort to get your hands on Naturium. It's kind of just, not worth it. And so for me, I won't be using these products, but of the ones I've tried, I'd say their cleansers are all really good. As I said with the Hyram launch, I love a good cleanser, and the cleansers are really good, and I also really like the tranexamic acid serum because it's quite difficult to get tranexamic acid in a really good concentration, and you get that in this product. So I'd say those two were the ones that I was most impressed by. But you know what? Sound off on your thoughts and feelings on Naturium below. Now, finally, I'm going to come on to Krave Beauty by Leah Yu. Now, I said that Naturium was the brand that kind of kick-started all of this. I think I might actually have to backtrack because I think it probably was Leah with her Krave Beauty brand. This was like an instant sensation, and people went mad for the Matcha Hemp Cleanser and the Great Barrier Relief Serum. These two were like sold out like that, and everyone went so hyped and mad for them. It took me ages to be able to try them because Krave aren't easily accessible here in the UK or Europe. I think they only ship to North America and I think some Asian countries as well, which is a little bit disappointment because, again, going back to Naturium, I think 3 or 4 years into a brand, having a more international presence would be great, because for us here in Europe and the UK, we kind of want to get our hands on these products that people are raving about, but we just can't. But anyway, that's up to the brand, and I'm not going to be reading to filth for that. Now, unfortunately, there's been a lot of flack around this brand recently, specifically their Krave Beauty Shield, which failed its SPF testing. Obviously, it's not a unique thing that a brand would fail its SPF testing. Unfortunately, we've seen this time and time again, but the lack of transparency and the lack of sharing what the true SPF was did leave a lot of people feeling very cold towards Krave Beauty as a brand. And again, the same with Naturium. I'll leave it up to you to make your own decisions and thoughts on that, but when you do, please leave them in the comments section below. Share your thoughts and feelings. This, of course, just impacted one of their products, and I do still think that the Matcha Hemp Cleanser and the Great Barrier Relief Cream are really good standout products. This definitely isn't a cash grab line. The formulations, the quality of the ingredients used, I think justify a slightly higher price point. I also think it's all very in keeping with Leah's brand and the content that she creates on YouTube. So it kind of is clearly, it has her name all over it, and you could tell that she was involved in the process from start to finish, which I really like. I'm disappointed they're not more international so people could get their hands on it, but having finally used the Great Barrier Relief Cream alongside the Stratia Liquid Gold, I think the Stratia Liquid Gold actually just pips it in terms of performance. So if you can't get your hands on the Great Barrier Relief Cream, reach for the Stratia Liquid Gold, which is shipped internationally, and I think you'll be really wowed and bowled over by the results that you get from that product. It's one of my absolute holy grails. Overall, I think Krave Beauty is a really good line. You just need to bear in mind some of the recent things that have gone on with their sunscreen and make your own decision on that. And it is a shame they don't ship internationally, so I'll definitely be sharing some more dupes for those of you that want to get your hands on it. So there you have it, guys, my views on some popular influencer-led skincare. Now, when it comes to the number of influencer-led skincare brands, I don't think these 4 are actually in excess. That's just my personal view, and I'd love to know. Do you think this is a saturated market, or do you think, the more the merrier, and it's up for us, the consumer, to decide what we do purchase and what we don't purchase? In terms of the quality, I've been really impressed with the quality of this influencer skincare that I've tried. I look for it being really aligned with the values of the influencer that's created it. I don't want something that's being created and then someone's just slapped their name on it. I want to see their footprint across the whole range from start to finish, and I think with these 4 brands that we've talked about now, you really can see that. I know that a lot of people often call out the price point being a little bit hyped, a little bit higher. I think in the cases of some, that is marginally justified. I think the Selfless By Hyram range did shock a lot of people with a slightly higher price point, but of course there was a whole host of things, ethics and impact assessments that go on behind that you do need to factor in. I actually think Naturium is a reasonably priced skincare line, and the Dr Sam, for the quality of the product, the packaging, and just the overall ingredients, I think it's definitely worth every single penny. So I don't think it's all should be branded as a cash grab, but I'd love to know your thoughts and feelings. Wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, and look after your skin. Take care. Bye.